all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity.
Guys, gals, everything in between. It's the weekend. September 19 edition. Welcome one, welcome all to another Mavakaga exclusive, where tonight we'll be talking about alien life on Venus, tic-tac-toe UFO, ghosts, goblins, UFOs, bit of this, bit of that, and yes, even some prehistoric sperm found trapped inside amber. Let's go. Let's start it off with some possible signs of alien life detected on Venus. The discovery of phosphine suggests that Venus may not be quite as inhospitable to life as previously thought. With surface temperatures exceeding 860 degrees and crushing atmospheric pressures that are more than 100 times those found on our own planet, the conditions on Venus are undeniably hellish. But while the likelihood of finding signs of life on its surface remains low, scientists have long speculated that primitive life forms could potentially eke out an existence high up in the clouds. It's an idea that has been around for decades. Even Carl Sagan speculated about the possibility of life in the atmosphere of Venus back in 1967. Now, a new study published today in the journal Nature Astronomy has revealed the discovery of phosphine on Venus, something that could indicate the presence of life. The discovery suggests either some exotic chemical process occurs we haven't got our thought of on Earth, or maybe that some kind of very robust organism survived the runaway greenhouse effect and evolved up to live in the clouds. The discovery was made using the James Clerk Maxwell telescope in Hawaii. When Jane sent me the spectrum, I sat in front of my computer blinking for about half an hour, said telescope director Jessica Dempsey. I didn't believe she actually found it. We aren't saying it's a 100% robust detection of life, but what we can say is that we've opened it up to a possibility that it is that. Who or what was piloting this thing, and where did it come from? USS Nimitz UFO incident maintains that the object took hostile action. One of the most intriguing new UFO cases to have come to light in recent years, the USS Nimitz incident, which occurred in 2004 during a training exercise approximately 100 miles from San Diego, saw U.S. fighter pilots from the Nimitz Carrier Strike Group encounter an unidentified flying object. Footage of the UFO was later published in 2017 and subsequently confirmed to be genuine. One of the pilots who was sent out to pursue the mysterious object that day was Commander David Fravor, who later described it as like nothing he'd ever seen. Speaking on a recent podcast hosted by MIT research scientist Lex Fridman, Fravor described in more detail what happened that day during attempts to pursue the object. He noted that his fellow pilot, Chad Underwood, had been jammed when he had tried to track it. He's telling the radar, stare down the line of sight. Whatever is there, I want you to grab it and build a trace file on it, which will tell you where it is, how fast it is, and the direction that it's going. The radar is smart enough that when the signal comes back, if it's been messed with, it will tell you. It will give you indications that it's being jammed. It's being jammed into about every mode you can see. You can tell it's being jammed. When you actively jam another platform, that's technically an act of war. As for the nature and origins of these objects, Fravor remains uncertain. I don't like to get into little green men, but I don't think we've developed it, he said. I think you can hide things for a while. This is a giant leap in technology. If sticks and stones not going to break my bones, maybe stones and potatoes will. A series of strange object-throwing incidents have been plaguing a residential abode in Umtru Riboy district. According to Kingstar Thongni, who owns the house in question, the peculiar events began a week ago when he heard an unexplained knocking on the door, despite there being nobody there. While investigating the mystery, Thongni then reported that a number of stones had been thrown onto the veranda of the front of his house, again with the person responsible being seen, without him being seen. Keen to catch the culprit, local residents started to carry out patrols within the vicinity of the house. However, when nobody was found, many started to regard the phenomena as paranormal. The strange activity continued unabated for days, with stones, household items, and even potatoes being thrown both inside and outside of the house, without apparent explanation. A local news reporter covering the phenomenon even witnessed it happening firsthand. Some of the stones actually fell on nearby residents. However, fortunately, nobody was injured. As things stand, no explanation for the phenomenon has yet been found. Wacky or what? Wow. Let's go on. Is this photo of a deceased ghost child? The photographs captured at a cemetery in New Mexico show an alleged ghost visiting her own grave. When Sandra Gonzalez discovered that toys and personal belongings placed at the grave of her deceased 2-year-old daughter Fabiola had gone missing, she asked other families who had been visiting the Masonic cemetery in Las Cruces to keep an eye out for anything suspicious. As it happened, another family had set up a camera to capture images of the nearby gravesite of their murdered son, which they believed was being vandalized by the individual who killed him. When they reviewed their footage recently, however, they discovered to their surprise the image of a little girl, clear as anything, seemingly visiting Fabiola's grave in the middle of the night. A worker at the cemetery recognized the girl and informed Sandra and her grandmother. She told us that she had something really beautiful to show us that they had captured on their video camera, said Sandra. So then she pulled out her phone and she showed it to me, and as soon as she showed me the picture, I started crying. One of the images appeared to show the girl holding hands with a tall man who Sandra believes could be the murdered son from the neighboring grave. They both have such a tragic story of things that happened to them, and, both of them still haven't gotten justice, said Sandra. So I think she was definitely there to comfort him and take him to heaven. But do these images really show evidence of ghosts, or could this be the case of a parent taking their young child to the cemetery at night to steal toys and other valuables from some of the graves? Either way, it's certainly unusual. What do you all think? And do let me know in the comment section below if you want me to make videos on these cases even longer. I could show some more proof, some more evidence, some more of the story. Let me know in the comment section below. Let's go onward. I swear to you all, I am not making up these stories. Prehistoric sperm found trapped inside amber. Scientists have identified 100-million-year-old sperm cells perfectly preserved within fossilized tree resin. The cells, which are several times the size of human sperm, belong to tiny creatures measuring a mere 0.6 millimeters across, a class of microcrustaceans known as ostracods, which still exist today. Particularly notable about these creatures is their penchant for producing sperm that is up to 10 times larger than themselves, a feat made possible by the way it twists and tangles up into small balls. Small balls. The amber was found to contain 39 individual creatures, as well as their giant sperm. The fact that the seminal receptacles of the female are in an expanded state due to being filled with sperm indicates that successful copulation had taken place shortly before the animals became entrapped in the amber, the study authors wrote. A discovery like this, with soft tissues preserved so well for so long, is particularly rare. The find also shows how little these microcrustaceans have changed in millions of years. The male claspers, sperm pumps, hemipenis, and female seminal receptacles with giant sperm of fossil ostracods reveal that the reproduction behavioral repertoire which is associated with considerable morphological adaptations, has remained unchanged over at least 100 million years, the study authors wrote. Anybody hungry or thirsty now? And you thought giraffes had long necks. Reptile had a neck 3 times the length of its body. Scientists have been studying how a prehistoric creature named Tanstophoros supported its insanely long neck. Fossils of this remarkable reptile, which roamed the planet's coastal regions some 242 million years ago, were first discovered in the mid-19th century. Since then, paleontologists have speculated over whether the animal, which had a ridiculously long neck, 3 times the length of its own body, lived predominantly on land or in water. Now, though, a new study by Dr. Nick Fraser of National Museum Scotland and colleagues has finally shed some light on the mystery. Well, Scotland. So between this and Loch Ness, hey, maybe this is the Loch Ness. Anyway, by using modern high-resolution micro-CT scans of the fossils to construct a detailed computer model of the creature's skull, the researchers were able to determine that Tanstophoros, I'm totally butchering it, had nostrils on the top of its snout and teeth designed primarily for trapping fish, indicating that it has most likely spent the majority of its life in the water. This also helps to explain how it was able to support the weight of its huge neck. That said, it is also likely that the species did spend some time out of the water as well. Our group feels that this animal was an aquatic animal most of the time, said Fraser. Would you guys, gals, everything in between want to go see this at the local zoo? I don't know about you, but I do. True scale of the Megalodon shark revealed. It puts Jaws to shame. This gargantuan prehistoric shark was so large that a human standing on its back would be the size of its fin. Measuring up to 18 meters in length, this prehistoric behemoth, which lived up until around 2.6 million years ago, made the great white shark, which is less than a third of its size, look like a minnow. For 20 million years, this gargantuan predator dominated the world's oceans, but then something happened that had such a catastrophic effect on the species that it ended up going extinct. Now, a new study by scientists in the UK has revealed for the first time just how large Megalodon actually was, building upon previous estimates of the length of its body. A Megalodon measuring 16 meters in length, it is now believed, would have a head measuring 4.65 meters long. Yeah, that's his head. A dorsal fin 1.62 meters tall, and a tail 3.85 meters long. Such an extreme size cements its place as one of the largest predators to have ever lived. Megalodon was actually the very animal that inspired me to pursue paleontology in the first place at just 6 years old, so I was over the moon to get a chance to study it, said researcher Jack Cooper. This was my dream project, but to study the whole animal is difficult, considering that all we really have are lots of isolated teeth. What? Terror Crocodile had teeth the size of bananas. Imagine a giant crocodile the length of a bus with 2 rows of teeth the size of bananas, a predatory reptile so powerful that it could catch and devour large dinosaurs. Enter Deinosuchus, the terror crocodile, a long-extinct genus of crocodilian that roamed the earth between 75 and 82 million years ago. It was so large that even the largest predatory dinosaurs of the time may have found themselves serving as a potential meal. Now, a new fossil study has cast new light on the threat posed by this gargantuan carnivore. Deinosuchus was a giant that must have terrorized dinosaurs that came to the water's edge to drink, said study leader Dr. Adam Cossett from Arkansas State University. Until now, the complete animal was unknown. These new specimens were examined. We've revealed a bizarre, monstrous predator with teeth the size of bananas. Most telling are bite marks found on the fossil bones of dinosaurs that lived alongside it. They seem to have been an opportunistic predator, and given that it was so enormous, almost everything in its habitat was on the menu. We actually have multiple examples of bite marks made by D. riograndensis and a species newly described in the study, on turtle shells and dinosaur bones. Crazy. Crazy. And did I say crazy? Again, I just want to reiterate, I'm not making any of these stories up. They've all been documented, researched, and they are actually real. So, don't blame me if you think this is so far-fetched that I'm just full of crap, because this is what I've seen, this is what I've heard, this is what I've read. I'm just passing it on to all of you. Check out this one. Mystery as lone python suddenly lays eggs. An elderly female snake that hasn't been near a male in 15 years has inexplicably laid a clutch of eggs. The lesbian python, just kidding, the python, which at 62 years of age is believed to be the oldest known snake in captivity, resides at St. Louis Zoo, where she has remained isolated from other snakes for well over a decade. Out of the 7 eggs, 3 have been placed in an incubator, 2 have been used for genetic sampling, and the other 2 did not survive. It is estimated that the surviving eggs could hatch within a month. Exactly how the snake ended up laying eggs despite its isolation isn't clear. However, it is not unheard of for pythons to reproduce asexuality or to store sperm for long periods of time. It is hoped that the genetic sampling will reveal which of these 2 possibilities is most likely. One thing is for certain, the python, which is known only as 361003, is the oldest snake on record ever to have laid eggs, making her a record breaker one way or the other. This one brings a whole new definition to the term fish lips. This image shows fish with human-like teeth. A photograph of a very strange-looking fish with lips and teeth like those of a human have gone viral. The peculiar specimen, which was posted up on Twitter earlier this month by user Raf Nasir, is nothing if not bizarre. A multicolored fish with a full set of lips and 2 rows of human-like chompers. Her lips are hotter than mine, Nasir joked. The photograph quickly generated a great deal of speculation, with some users claiming that it had been digitally altered and others maintaining that it was likely to be a real fish. Many agreed that the most likely candidate was the Picasso triggerfish. Upon seeing the red line that runs straight from its snout to its pectoral fins, and the black patch on its belly, I kind of guessed that it was a black belly triggerfish, said marine biologist Lufti Afik Rosili. Not everything, however, is quite as it should be. The teeth photo seems doctored to me, said Rosley. Most triggerfish do not have teeth like that. Usually, they have a set of 2 canine teeth on the top and another set at the bottom. These help them catch their prey, which is usually shellfishes on the reef floor. What do you all think? Real or not real? Let me know in the comments section below. And at this time, I'd also like to say, if you haven't already, do leave a thumbs up or a like, whatever you want to call it. If you don't like this video, make sure you hit the thumbs button down twice. All right, hit it twice. Once it'll turn blue, then it'll go back to gray. Once it's back to gray, it's okay. Looks like our episode today is just like go big or go home. Gargantuan crocodile captured in Australia. The croc was captured alive. A saltwater crocodile weighing in at over 770 pounds has been caught in a river at an Australian tourist hotspot. The enormous reptile, which measures 14.5 feet long, was discovered in the Flora River around 75 miles southwest of the town of Katherine in Australia's Northern Territory. According to the wildlife ranger, John Burke, it is the largest crocodile found in the area in many years. The tourist walked down to the river in the area where he was, he said. With the weather warming up, the crocodiles are becoming active. They're moving into breeding season as well, and the rivers are low and they're out looking for mates, particularly the big males. There has been a significant increase in the number of wild crocodiles in the region over the last few decades, thanks to a law made in the 1970s to grant them protected species status. They certainly are increasing in number, and that's part of the reason we have the management zones, to reduce the numbers in high visitation areas so there's less chance of interaction between salties and people, said Burke. This particular monster, however, will be just fine. According to reports, it will be taken to a crocodile farm, where it will be used as a breeding stock. Hopefully it will be a little croc resort there, and he'll have a new girlfriend, said Burke. Wait, am I supposed to go, ha 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 ha, good one there, Burke? Now? Okay. Guys, gals, everything in between, if you enjoyed this video, we will be back soon with some more wacky, weird crap that you can only find on the internet. Are they true? If they say it is, it must be. I don't know. But they're pretty wacky, so I find them interesting, and I hope you did too. Do not forget that starting this Monday, September 21st, I will start doing live streams once again every night at 11 p.m. Eastern, where we can talk about whatever you want. It's an open forum to all the Mavakaga family. We're here to chat about whatever we want to chat about, no holds barred. Just keep it in good taste, as sometimes we agree, sometimes we don't agree. It's all good. That's what we're here for. You know what I mean? It's an open platform. Let's discuss whatever you guys, gals, and everything between want. Monday, September 21st, 11 p.m. Eastern, like it was before, and like it will always be. Look at Monday to Friday at the very least, every night, 11 p.m., possibly Saturday and Sunday nights as well. But when I don't do a live stream, I'll be doing videos like this, premiering every night at 11 p.m. in case live stream's not happening. For now, peace and love, like always. Stay safe, stay strong, protect yourselves, protect the family. Family first, nothing else matters. Lastly, don't ever kiss fish lips. Mavakaga. Out.
It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity.